Good morning, guys. I am going to be working on another necklace piece similar to this one, totally different design, but the same size. So this is 22 by 55 as the actual dimensions of the stitching. It's on 56 count, so it is very small. And what I'll be doing is doing the stitching part of it. So I'm going to get started on doing that with my new piece. I was silly enough to have cut out the fabric, which then makes the tension of it weird if you put it back into a hoop. So future reference for myself, this was the first one that I made, but trying to figure out kind of what that looks like and if I liked it and all that sort of stuff. So I'll be doing a new one. That's gonna go right here. I'm actually gonna be doing two of the same design at the same time. I'm gonna just grab the first color that I want, but essentially this is my non-DMC set of colors that I have. I'm just picking out colors that I like for this, which actually I don't know that I like any of these colors for the first part that I'm looking at. That'll work. And essentially what this is that I made a deal with my friends that know me, and certainly I am thinking that I'd extend that to you guys as well, which is that if you design a pattern, again 22 by 55, if you design a pattern, then I decide that I want to stitch it, then I would stitch a version of it for you and a version of it for me. So essentially, I get a new design, but you also get a copy of it, which I think is really, I don't know, seems like a fun, fair trade at the end of the day for people to get a piece of jewelry that they like. That being said, I am making only the pendant part of it, so they have to have their own chain and stuff, but other than that, it's kind of a I don't know, fun little trade that we're doing. This hole is going to drive me nuts, though, let me tell you. I'm so tempted to work elsewhere, but I don't want to waste all of the rest of this fabric. So I'm gonna just get us started. I am not using any magnification or anything like that. I know question number one when you work on 56 count is, do you use magnification? Nope is my answer. I also want to maximize my use of the fabric as much as I can. So I'm actually going to go fairly close to where this cut edge is for us. I'm not going to tell you what the design is, at least not right now. I'm going to let this one play out a little bit. 3 colors of blue going. Okay. And as the design progresses, you'll be able to see what's happening. My friend that designed this one is very much into like fantasy fairies. She's a really cool person. I very much enjoy being around her. She's one of those people who just hope I already have a knot. How's that possible? 2 seconds in, guys. But she's very much one of those happy-go-lucky people. She much makes a point to be as what's the word I want? I guess lively is the best word I have. Where she very much tries to, as much as she can, think of things on the bright side. Not always easy. And certainly what we then end up chit-chatting about, because I very much, I'm going to move a little bit. I very much am on the serious side all the time, so to say we have conflict is dramatic, but it's an interesting perspective difference to be able to do this, to have that difference, I guess. I do have to say though, I may decide I want to do this on a different piece of fabric. Not because I can't or don't want to do the 56 count. This hole right here actually is making this really annoying. It's just kind of a funny part of it. I don't know. Well, I'll stitch. See if I can do a workaround. I don't like wasting fabric at the end of the day. Didn't feel right. My wife is also, I proposed this to my friends kind of all at the same time, including my wife. She's been pondering what she wants to make. I think she's thinking about it too deeply, personally. Oh, I should have counted. How many do I need? 7. Okay. But saying my wife, I think, is thinking about this too deeply. She's trying to think of like the perfect pattern, the perfect design, and I'm like, well, that's the whole point of this, is that like it doesn't have to be the perfect anymore, because I'm making it. That we can make it, and okay, do we like it at the end of the day? If not, we can figure something else out, right? Because I should have just counted across the bottom. Let me do this again. 4, 13, 14, 15, As you can tell, it's tent stitching, so it's not full cross. I don't think it's possible at the end of the day. I really don't. It's already very tight from a stitching perspective. I use size 28 needles. That's certainly the smallest needle that I can find. I do have actually both of the dogs in here with me today. It's funny, I have one that will always be with me, there's no doubt about it, but the other one gets jealous if I'm in here too long by myself with the other, so. Especially if the door's closed, she thinks she's missing out on something. So I figured I'd do, I guess a mini-series, maybe is the best description for it, of what it's like to make these. So, might be a little bit longer of videos, just because I am doing two, and the size of them makes it a little longer. 6. That was the long count, sorry. 7. Alrighty. First color down. Like I said, these are all like I would say no name brands. It was 5 cents. Magic. No name is probably a poor description for it, but not DMC, not CXC, any of that sort of stuff. So they're just kind of random bits that who knows what colors they actually are. So these are what I use for the random side projects. Just so that I can, I don't know, save the colors that I need to for like CXC and stuff like that for the more I don't know what's the word. Oh, my foot's asleep already. Actual full coverage patterns and stuff like that. Oh, let's see. All right, color number 2. We get sorry. If you can tell, it's easier to go from empty hole to filled hole, like you probably do with more of the, I don't know, Gemma's color flow method or something like that, where working up from a direction is a lot harder to find ninja stitches, though I will say I am not precious about it. I will definitely just do what makes sense for the color still. I guess that's the cross-country stitcher in me. I can't bring myself to not. Why are you curling? To not just stitch what's there, right? Like, just hard to do. Like I said, this hole is going to be annoying until I get a good foundation going. I almost wish I had an outline on this one to be able to just stabilize everything. But this pattern, the way she designed it, does not have one. I guess I could and then just know that it was going to be wasted stitches, that they wouldn't end up fitting in the frame as that overall or that last part of the design. But I'm trying to stay true to her design. She had a vision, although I will say, I did make a change. So, and I don't know, she is a stitcher, so she does know in general what it's like to read a pattern and how things translate into threads. But I thought that the eyes looked kind of funny, so I changed them a little bit to be able to do that at the end of the day. like doing these necklaces because they are relatively fast to be able to do, right? Like, yes, it's a little bit slower because it's 56 count, and so each stitch takes a little bit longer than what's normal, but at the same time, it's only, I don't remember what the math works out to be. 22 by 55 is just over 1,000 stitches, I think. So it's easy enough to be able to do things. Gotta have some small wins while you're doing other things. I would say the big kind of trick that I've noticed, if I would say that there is even a trick to working on 56 count, is that you can't pull as tight as potentially some other ones. I guess that's probably more of a linen thing than it is anything else, but I just find that it, I don't know, distorts the fabric maybe more so than what other fabrics tend to do. One of the cats is outside the door just making little murr sounds. Oh, and now he's going to start scratching. He just very much doesn't like to be left out when he knows something is happening. So he's trying to figure out why he's locked out of a room. And, well, I'm not letting him in. Because he is a 2-year-old, so he's still fairly mischievous. String back. That's not working for me. It'll go to the back eventually. I know I talked about it the other day. In some ways, when you're stitching at this size, it's kind of more on vibes than it is about like you making sure you're in the hole or making sure that everything's perfectly the same size. Is it a good approximation of where that stitch is supposed to be? Which I'd say probably freaks out most cross stitchers. It's a little bit more of like a embroidery method. It's like, oh, that's close enough. Or that makes the line look right. Amazing what having space for your thumb does to feel like you can stabilize things. Even just being able to put my thumb over top of the other stitches is very helpful. heard that there's supposed to be some pretty good thunderstorms happening today, so I'm excited. Not only does our house ground, I guess, around it, and the land need the water, but it's just very soothing to me to be able to let the world be replenished. So I am excited. Hopping between rows is always the highest risk, maybe that's what I want to say. Portion of it is that, because like for this one, this row that I'm on, as I'm stitching up to it, it kind of disappears until you get that first stitch in there. It wants to tuck underneath the stitches that I've already done. So I have to just be very careful to make sure that I don't accidentally do a 2/1 kind of part of it that ends up getting pulled tight. Like I said, it'd be very easy to do because it's linen, because it's small. You might not even notice that that was happening. Similarly, I don't know why, my brain didn't want to process where that one was going. Sometimes that just happens. Alrighty. I'm going to just finish out this color and then I will call it quits for now. Certainly it's harder to do the smaller count, so I don't like doing it for very long. It's more of ones that I'll do 100 stitches here or there to be able to make it happen, unless I'm very keen on having a final project. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited to have this, but it's also not I need to stitch every moment of every day kind of version of it for me for this one. I'm also very much focused on trying to get my stitches in on my main squeeze. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to hit you. I very much will be angry with myself. I know it's just a hobby, but I very much want to get my main project done by August, so I'm actually even doing extra stitches beyond what it needs right now. Sorry, to be able to make sure that when I decide that I want to work on something else, I can have some flex in my schedule. So I'm doing, like I said, a little bit extra at the moment. Uh-oh, lights are flickering. It's not a good sign for if storms are about to come. That being said, I am recording on my phone with the flash being my flashlight, so I think I would actually still be able to stitch if the light went out, if the power went out. Which is kind of funny. Funny to think about. Although technically I guess my pattern is on my computer. That's in front of me. So it would be patternless. Like I said, guys, if you have a pattern that you want to design and would want a pendant for, it's weird, I'm one of those stitchers who, I actually don't know that I have, and like I have one pattern that I think I have finished and not given away. I like to think of stitching as a way of being able to share with someone that, like, oh, I was thinking about you, or, that this was all time that I knew that I was making something for you, and it's a gift that it feels good to do to me, and I love doing it, even if it's for a stranger or someone that I've never actually met. But, like I said, if you have a design that you want to do, shoot me an email. I'll include that in the description box below. But I'm not making guarantees of when it would happen, or if I get like 1,000,000 of them, I probably won't be able to stitch all of them. I do have a limited scope of time, but maybe I'll do like a lotto system or do a random draw, and then when I'm stitching it, you get to see what that looks like. But there's the first probably, I don't know, maybe 60 stitches, 70 stitches. It's 22 across, so 70 stitches maybe in each of them. The start of it. When I come back, you'll probably see a little bit more progress. I'll probably work my way up a little bit, get maybe a third of the way up the project, and we'll go from there. But there's what stitching on 56 count looks like. Like I said, send me an email. That's probably the best way, with kind of what sort of design you want, what that looks like. I've encouraged my friends to do it on like a pixel art program that you can specify what size you want or how many pixels it is, and then send me a screenshot when I've designed it. So the one we use it's called Pixel Art, is what it's called. It's just a free, publicly accessible one where they get to pick what colors they want and all of that jazz. So I am doing that. Like I said, we'll end up with a final product very similar to this. This is more of like I would say a traditional full coverage style, where it is more of a realistic image. as opposed to this one that I'm doing for my friend, which is, I would say more cartoony, but hard to tell right now because everything's just small and not very much. I got 2 colors done, and I'll start working in some black outlines is actually what the next part is, which will be more fiddly. Maybe I'll keep that part of it. I don't know. Maybe I'll film it because that is the more quote-unquote difficult part of it, is counting when it's not an even line. So I'll do what I can to show you guys what it looks like, but I need to take a break for a little bit. My legs are asleep, and I'll come back later. Bye, guys.